11 News starts with breaking news.
Breaking now, Pittsburgh's St. Patrick's Day Parade is off. The city is citing ongoing concerns over the rapid spread of the coronavirus. Mayor Bill Peduto said the health of residents and visitors is the main priority and says the city is following CDC recommendations to avoid big gatherings. Boston and Chicago, even Dublin, Ireland, have also canceled their parades.
And more breaking news, Allegheny Health Network is changing the rules for its visitors.
The health network says it is taking the steps not only because of the coronavirus, but the flu. The new temporary policy will limit the number of visitors in a patient's hospital room to 1. People who might be sick are being asked not to visit AHN hospitals unless they are seeking treatment. The hospitals are recommending people use FaceTime and Snapchat to connect with patients. And the state health department just announced another new presumed case of the coronavirus on top of the 2 announced earlier this morning. There are now 15 in Pennsylvania. 13 are presumed and 2 have been confirmed by the CDC.
Health officials do expect that number to continue to climb as more people are tested. All of the cases are still in the eastern part of the state, most in the Philadelphia area. Patients are either in the hospital or in isolation at home. There are no coronaviruses cases yet in the Pittsburgh area. It is important to remember the survival rate in the U.S. stands at around 96%. A live look at the big board on the New York Stock Exchange. You see stocks plummeting again. The Dow tumbling more than 1,000 points. More fallout from the economic impact of the virus outbreak.
There is talk about keeping fans away from NHL and NBA games, but we're not at that level at this point. In fact, just last night, some 4,000 fans showed up to root for Robert Morris University in the Northeast Conference Tournament Championship game. This was their biggest basketball game of the season. The Colonials were playing for a spot in the NCAA tournament, and they won. Before the game, these signs were taped to the doors at the UPMC Event Center, encouraging people to wash their hands and cover their mouths when they cough.
I don't want to put fear into my son and want him to just be cautious. He washes his hands and try not to put our hands on our faces.
They are having meetings at my school for washing our hands, usually after lunch and all that.
RMU officials say they're continuing to monitor the spread of the coronavirus and have not made any decisions about future school events.
So, should you stop going to large events? According to Johns Hopkins Center for Health, if you are over age 60 or you have other medical conditions, you should reconsider going, as large gatherings can increase your risk of exposure. If you're wondering which schools and events are canceled or delayed because of coronavirus, we have a special section set up for you on our WPXI News app.
More breaking news. Harvey Weinstein was just sentenced to 23 years in prison. It's on the higher end of New York State guidelines for a criminal sex act. The Hollywood producer faced up to 29 years. He told the judge he felt remorse deeply in his heart. 2 of his victims also testified this morning. Weinstein is 67 years old. We have new information on a man burned after his trailer caught fire. We first followed this fire as it was breaking during our morning newscast, and since then, Channel 11's Liz Kilmer got a closer look at the damage along the Three Rivers Heritage Trail.
A man is in the hospital right now after his arms were badly burned when flames broke out, destroying his home. You can see this is what's left of the trailer along the Ohio River. Nothing but ash and charred belongings. Now, firefighters were called here to Chateau along the Three Rivers Heritage Trail and the Newport Marina around 5:30 this morning. You can see smoke shooting from the trailer. Officials say the man who lived here managed to get out on his own, but was taken to the hospital to be treated for those burns. Now, his home is a total loss. Only the deck behind it is still standing. Folks passing by on the trail this morning say it's sad.
It's like all industrial, except right along the river, and most of this is clubs that are closed for the winter.
Yeah,
there are very few full-time residents here, and now there's one less.
We spoke with the victim's friends, and they tell us that he actually worked at the marina here by his home. He also worked at a nearby coffee shop. You'll hear more about that coming up tonight at 5. Meantime, we're working to find out how this started and where. Right now, that's all under investigation. In Chateau, I'm Liz Kilmer, Channel 11 News.
Overcast skies right now. A chance of a few light showers later today.
And meteorologist Danielle Dozier has her forecast now. Severe Weather Center 11.
Pretty cloudy out there today and a little bit on the mild side this afternoon, guys. But yes, we're going to be running into that slight chance for a pop-up shower later today. Right now, our temperatures are in the upper 30s to low 40s. We're at 41 degrees here in Pittsburgh, 41 Greensburg, and 42 in Washington. Still chilly out in Butler, though, so if you are out and about, you'll need the jacket. Here's Storm Tracker Doppler 11 radar. Cloudy skies across the bulk of the area. No rain falling just yet. The afternoon high goes up to 49, which will be slightly above average by maybe a couple of degrees. Winds west-southwest today at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's Storm Tracker at 1:30. Again, it's going to try to show a few little green speckles here and there, which would indicate where we may have a pop-up shower later today or even this evening. But the moisture is pretty limited, so I'm not expecting widespread rain. Also not expecting heavy downpours either. So just keep the umbrella nearby. I'm going to let you know when more widespread rain for the area moves into the forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
One person was hurt in a crash in McCandless. Police say a minivan and a car collided at the intersection of Perry Highway and Richard Drive. You can see the car has major damage to the driver's side and front end. The van was also banged up. The crash backed up traffic on Perry Highway during this morning's commute. A shooting near a Pittsburgh high school has parents on edge. Police were called to Mertland Street in Homewood yesterday near Westinghouse High School. Officers found a man shot in the leg there. The school was put on lockdown for about 30 minutes. We talked with one mom who lives nearby who says she's had enough.
I have two boys. I don't want my boys growing up here. I'm scared for my life. I'm scared for their life, and it's just not okay.
Man was taken to the hospital. Police are looking for the shooter.
The man accused of shooting at a school van with kids on board now faces attempted homicide charges. Those charges are new as of today. He told us he didn't do anything wrong.
Did you say you were allowed to have guns? Anything. I didn't shoot at nobody.
Police say Brian Benetis was dressed in camo in a field off Route 65 with a long rifle and 2 pistols. Police don't know if the van was the intended target, but you can see the shattered side window. There were 7 kids on that van. Thankfully, no one was hurt. The Penn Hill School District is working to address student violence and debt. Those were 2 big topics at a town hall meeting. The school board talked about adding specialists trained to de-escalate situations with kids, also posting retired officers at the front door and moving 5th graders to the elementary school, meaning Linton would have grades 6 through 8 only. Teachers also raised concerns over students not being able to take textbooks home because there are not enough for all of them. We've told you about the district being more than $172 million in debt. State officials developed a financial recovery plan as a result, something the board president touched on.
This whole financial recovery plan has totally ruined this district, and we cannot continue down this path.
The Trib is also reporting the board president recommended a 3-strike policy to improve the safety situation in which kids who fight would be expelled after the 3rd incident.
A man is sitting in the Westmoreland County Jail right now accused of up to 20 daytime robberies. The Trib reports police arrested James Dickent on Monday. Officers say he targeted homes in Greensburg. Police claim Dickent waited until the homeowners left for work, then broke in and took cash, jewelry, and electronics. Investigators say they tracked him down through stores and websites that buy and sell used jewelry.
People in one community say they don't feel safe in their neighborhood, and it's not because of crime, it's because of a dog. Neighbors say a dangerous dog has been roaming yards in Turtle Creek. Channel 11's Amy Hudak spoke to a man who was attacked by that dog.
The dog jumps out of here, starts chasing me, and I'm running around the cars trying to get away from it, weaving through traffic.
This Turtle Creek man says he doesn't feel safe in his own neighborhood.
And I'm like, get away from me, and I'm yelling at the owner, get your dog, get your dog.
He was attacked by a dog he says wandered away from home. The pictures are hard to look at. He was taken to Forbes Hospital, bleeding profusely, and had some nasty gashes on his hand.
It's still healing, but my hand is still black and blue.
While we were on Brown Avenue, 2 other neighbors told us they had run-ins with the same dog and were bitten. On a community social media page, neighbors warned of their experiences.
If you know that you have an aggressive animal, which obviously, was proven, then I feel that you need to take the measures and the steps to ensure that the people walking up and down this street can walk up and down the street without fear of someone's animal chasing them and biting them.
We went to the dog owner's home. The dog was outside on a chain. She denied an attack ever happening. The man bitten says he and his wife love dogs. They just want the owner to be responsible and make sure the dog can't hurt anyone else or worse.
But what if he was with my son? He picks up our son from daycare.
I just want to feel safe walking home from work at night.
And we reached out to police who say they have a police report and animal control is taking over that case.
Just a week ago, many of the pundits declared that this candidacy was dead. Now we're very much alive.
Another big night for Joe Biden after winning Michigan's primary. Biden also won in Missouri and Mississippi, but Michigan was the big prize. The state helped the former vice president pad his delegate lead. The results were a blow to Bernie Sanders, who sneaked out a win in Michigan's primary 4 years ago. And we just learned Sanders is set to deliver a campaign update coming up in about an hour.
This campaign is taking off, and I believe we're going to do well from this point on.
We need to win every state in the country.
Normally, a candidate would drop out at this stage, but political experts say Sanders has enough money to keep going. Again, though, Sanders is set to deliver an update on his campaign at 1 this afternoon. So where do the candidates stand right now? Well, these numbers are subject to change, but right now NBC projects that after last night, Biden has 837 delegates, while Sanders has 689. A candidate needs 1,991 delegates to win the nomination. Both candidates canceled events last night in Ohio because of coronavirus concerns. That virus also having an effect on the next debate. The Democratic National Committee announced there will be no live audience there. The party came to that decision after talking with the Biden and Sanders campaigns. Media at the debate site in Arizona will also be slimmed down. The debate comes just days before voters head to the polls in Arizona, Florida, Ohio, and Illinois.
More than 1,000 animal cruelty charges just filed. What we are learning about this long list of allegations.
A stranger's kindness helping a family give their grandfather a proper farewell. What they were able to get back, even though they didn't get to say goodbye.
Another above-average day for us later this afternoon. I'm going to let you know what to expect temperature-wise tomorrow and when more widespread rain moves into the forecast.
And getting a jump on tick season. What's being done to better understand the dangerous bug?
We've always counted on Channel 11 Morning News for breaking news. Now, we've expanded our coverage of breaking news where you live. Our anchor connects you to new information all morning long. Don't miss anything happening in the morning. Watch Channel 11. WPXI Now. Channel 11 expands its streaming live newscasts. When other stations are national, Channel 11 News is local, right here at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. on WPXI Now. The 7-day forecast, now on your screen all the time on Channel 11 News.
Breaking right now, police are swarming Holmes Street in Wilkinsburg. This is right off of Wood Street and just a few blocks from Route 8. Right now, police are not saying exactly what happened, but we do have a crew there monitoring the situation, and as soon as we get any information, we'll pass it along to you. And more breaking news right now. 2 women who gave birth at UPMC hospitals have filed a class action lawsuit against UPMC and Allegheny County. The lawsuit claims UPMC gave confidential medical information about the women to the county's CYF office, triggering investigations. It also says UPMC tested their urine for drugs without their knowledge. We're speaking with those women for Channel 11 News starting tonight at 5.
More than 1,000 animal cruelty charges and citations now are filed in connection with these raids on 2 properties last fall. Humane officers seized more than 100 cats in those raids in Monessen and Donora. Channel 11's Kara Sapida learned this represents the most animal abuse charges ever filed against someone in Washington County.
We always heard there were a lot of animals in there, and I always felt sorry for them.
Neighbors of Animal Orphans Animal Rescue weren't shocked to hear of the charges filed against Christy Haar, who has been operating her rescue in this rundown Donora church for years. 1,376 charges of animal cruelty, neglect, and torture. They told us they were worried for the animals.
And I just thought it was about time, if there were animals in there, that they would be rescued.
Channel 11 was there in October when they were rescued by the Humane Society of the United States. They came to town and raided 3 buildings where Haar was housing animals, 2 in Donora, 1 in Monessen. More than 200 cats, 15 chickens, and several dogs all rescued. The majority, they say, in desperate need of veterinary care, half of them with broken teeth. 10 of the animals died a short time later. Seasoned humane officers reportedly threw up immediately after entering the building. According to the criminal complaint, the roof was caving in, no running water. Many of the animals were kept in a dungeon-type room in the basement. The church filled with garbage, debris, urine, and feces, fur stuck to cages, throw up, and a massive amount of feces in every cage.
I mean, I know her, and I just couldn't believe. It was sad.
We reached out to Haar via social media, and she told us she has taken care of unwanted animals for 20 years, and that anyone who knows her realizes there is no basis for these charges.
Do you think she started out with good intentions?
She did, and she got overwhelmed.
Kara Sapida, Channel 11 News.
Humane agents tell us dozens of cats are at an undisclosed location and being cared for by the Humane Society of the United States.
Breaking news right now, the State Department just announced it will no longer hold a G7 meeting in Pittsburgh later this month because of the coronavirus. We told you foreign ministers from the United Kingdom, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and Canada were set to meet with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo at the Omni William Penn Hotel March 24th and 25th. But now, because of the coronavirus concerns, that meeting, we're told, will happen by video teleconference instead.
Firefighters battled a massive fire at a recycling plant in southern Illinois this morning. Several buildings collapsed. Look at that. It is right near the Missouri border. This is a suburb of St. Louis. Firefighters from at least 5 different departments were called in, and neighbors had to be evacuated.
The CDC is funding a new program to help stop the spread of Lyme disease. It's called the Tick Surveillance Program. Researchers found that about half of all deer ticks collected were infected with Lyme disease. The team also found a new kind of tick, the Asian longhorn tick. It's known to transmit a serious disease in Asia, though no cases have been found at this point in the U.S.
With climate change, if populations start to expand, that there is more likelihood that we could see infections.
Nearly 300,000 people get Lyme disease each year. CDC officials hope this program will lower that number.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
Good afternoon. Taking a look outside, you can see the overcast sky, a little fog still hanging around the area. The temperature is 41. The wind chill is the same because the wind is calm. Here's the visibility right now. 4 miles in Pittsburgh, 10 in Indiana, so a good visibility is 10 miles. So we are seeing that slightly reduced just because of that fog that's still hanging around if you're out and about traveling. Here's a look at our hour-by-hour forecast for the rest of the day today. The 1 o'clock temperature jumps to about 42, 45 at 3, and 49 at 5. We will keep an overcast sky with us for the day today. You'll also want your umbrella nearby, as we'll be tracking that slight chance for a pop-up shower later today. Here's Storm Tracker, though, as we head into Thursday morning. It's going to be mostly cloudy out there, but I think throughout the day we may actually get some breaks in the clouds, and you're seeing that show up here on our Storm Tracker maps. Now, as we head into the evening time frame, there's going to be another slight chance for a spotty shower. We have these little weak disturbances in the atmosphere coming through the area, not only today but also tomorrow evening. So that's what's prompting these slight rain chances, but the forcing in the atmosphere is just not good enough to give us any widespread rain until we head into the overnight period of Thursday and into Friday morning. So that's when you're going to start to see more showers coming into the area. They're going to be moving in from the south during the overnight. So 1 o'clock in the morning on Friday, and here are the showers. The areas in yellow represent where we're going to have pockets of moderate rain. Could be some locally heavier downpours as well. Here's 4 a.m. on Friday, and you can see a little orange shaded color showing up. We can't rule out thunder. That's also going to be a potential as you head out the door early Friday morning. I think some of the better thunderstorm chances and even heavier downpours will be well down to our south. You can see that there showing up at Morgantown, 6:30 in the morning, and points to the south across West Virginia and Maryland. Now, as we head through the rest of the day on Friday, the clouds will clear, giving way to sunshine, although it will be a lot colder come late day because we have a cold front coming in. So I'm going to highlight more about the temperatures and even the wind as we head into the end of the week in the next half hour. In the meantime, your forecast overnight tonight into tomorrow morning near 40, mostly cloudy skies, light winds out of the south-southwest. So it'll be just cold enough for a jacket tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, though, we get to enjoy an even warmer day. The temperatures will be climbing into the lower 60s off of a south-southwesterly wind. Again, mostly cloudy to partly sunny, so a few breaks in the clouds here and there. The temperature from the 40s going to mid-50s at noon, and then about 62 degrees at 5 o'clock. Here's a check of the 5-day forecast with your weekend always in view, and we have these mild days ahead as we head into Friday, 54. As I mentioned, though, colder air will be coming in, so we'll have a closer look at your Friday forecast as we get you prepared for the weekend. Here is your weekend always in view, and temperatures overall over the weekend in the high temperature category will be in the mid to upper 40s, which is near average, and we're also still tracking that chance for an evening or overnight rain or snow mix. The model data as we get closer to the weekend starts to come together, and it's starting to come more in line with this happening. So I added that in the forecast. Otherwise, the bulk of the day Saturday, mix of sun and clouds, will go into Sunday. The weather system will depart the area. 47 for the high, mostly cloudy to partly sunny.
All right, thanks, Danielle.
Well, we've all seen the ripple effect now of the coronavirus. Now we're hearing about the impact that it is having on Uber.
Yeah, the steps the company's taking to try and stop passengers and drivers from getting the virus.
Plus, new details on the controversy surrounding this old house once owned by a slave owner. The decision on its future next.
Hey Pittsburgh, if you haven't signed up for local steals and deals, now is the time. Just get out your phone and text the word WPXI to phone number 65,000, and I'll send you everything you need to get the most exclusive deals in town. That's WPXI to phone number 65,000, and you'll be the first to know.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Gordon Lesh.
And I'm Catherine Amentic.
At Channel 11 Morning News, we help you prepare for the day ahead.
Definitely the heavy rain gear today with temperatures.
Heavier delays for the inbound morning commute.
We expanded our breaking news team to better cover news happening right now and give you new information throughout the morning.
Let's get right to Jennifer Tomazik live at the breaking news desk.
A huge impact on the area. In fact, we just found out.
Don't miss anything happening in the morning. Watch Channel 11 Morning News. We're on from 4:30. happening in the morning. Watch Channel 11 Morning News.
An update on a Target 11 investigation. The Planning Commission voted to approve the historic designation for a house in Lawrenceville that is falling apart. The house was named after Samuel Ewalt, a founding father of Lawrenceville and also a slave owner. Members of the community said the home is historically significant and should be saved from demolition. But the current owners want to sell it to a developer who plans to build townhomes.
The city does not want to listen that this house is dangerous. They don't want to listen to what we have. They just want this house for their own reasons.
City Council will have the final say on the historical designation.
The Steelers are heading back to Canton to play in the Hall of Fame game. And this is a big deal because Bill Cowher, Troy Polamalu, and Donnie Shell will all be honored this fall. Mark your calendars. The Steelers will face the Cowboys on Thursday, August 6th. The last time the Black and Gold played in the Hall of Fame game was when Jerome Bettis was inducted.
Time to get real IDs is running out. We'll tell you why you don't want to wait.
And a stranger's kindness, helping a family give their grandfather a proper farewell. What they were able to get back, even though they didn't get to say goodbye.
Channel 11 Morning News brings you weather and traffic every 10 minutes.
Let me get you prepared for the week.
Now we've expanded our weather to help you prepare for the day ahead.
Definitely the heavy rain gear today.
Watch Channel 11 Morning News. We're on from 4:30 to Now, when a major story breaks, this is where you'll find 24-hour coverage. From the Channel 11 newsroom to our crews live in the field, we'll bring you the information you need right now. WPXI Now, always on when you want the latest on breaking news. Watch David Johnson and Peggy Finnegan on Channel 11 News at 5.
Breaking right now, Edinburgh University is moving to online classes. Because of the coronavirus, students are on spring break right now, and the school just announced it is extending spring break through March 20th to give teachers time to prepare online classes. Students will begin online classes March 23rd. School leaders hope to resume in-person classes by April 6th.
Uber is taking steps to try to prevent the spread of the virus. They include temporarily suspending the accounts of customers and drivers who have the illness. Uber is also adding more disinfectants for vehicles. Customers can also ask Uber Eats delivery drivers to leave food at the door. Delta has joined other airlines like American and United to prevent the spread of the disease. The airline has begun deploying a fogging technique with a highly effective EPA-registered disinfectant on flights. The disinfectant being used is rated to combat many communicable diseases. And airports around the country have increased the cleaning of high-touch areas like escalator handrails, elevators, and food courts. But now a growing number of people are deciding not to risk any travel in crowds. NBC's Carrie Sanders has that side of the story.
Big trouble in the skies. The airline industry taking a devastating hit over coronavirus fears.
Who knows? Half the people in here could be breathing it in. You don't know.
Many airports across the country, ghost towns.
I do have friends that have just canceled a cruise and the airline that, gets them to the cruise.
The airline industry is forecasting up to $113 billion in losses worldwide this year. American, Delta, United, and JetBlue all cutting back on U.S. and international flights. Southwest CEO telling CNBC the airline industry is facing its biggest threat to travel since 9/11.
9/11 wasn't an economically driven issue for travel. It was more fear, quite frankly, and I think that that's really what's manifested this time.
We brought a lot of masks.
With anxiety spreading like a virus, travelers are trying to take extra precautions.
You have hand wipes, you have sanitizer.
Major carriers working overtime to convince passengers their planes are clean.
The disinfectant sticks to surfaces.
Delta Airlines showed off new fogging technology. Alaska Airlines implementing what it calls enhanced cabin cleaning. One silver lining for travelers, cheaper fares. You can now fly round trip from New York to Los Angeles for just $184, down 49%. And from Chicago to New Orleans for $97 round trip, off 73%. Deep savings coming at a steep cost.
If you're thinking of canceling your flight and then using an insurance policy to get the money back, read it closely. If it doesn't say cancel for any reason, you may not be covered. Kerry Sanders, NBC News, Orlando.
The IRS is also considering a new tax deadline. An administration official confirms there are serious talks underway about extending the deadline beyond April 15th. There are a lot of things to keep in mind about coronavirus, so we have a special coronavirus section for you on our WPXI News app.
I'm sad that it had to happen this way, but I'm very thankful that somebody was able to step up and help my family out.
She's grateful for a complete stranger who paid to have her grandfather's ashes returned to her. This is a story 11 Investigates has been following. 90-year-old Paul Tyler died at Corner View Nursing Home in Homewood. The facility never told the family. Instead, he was cremated. But to get his ashes back, it would cost more than $700, money the family didn't have. Tyler's granddaughter, Danielle Miller, got her grandfather's ashes yesterday, though, after an anonymous donor stepped up after seeing our story.
I'm thankful. Thank you so much, whoever did this for me and my family. We are so thankful, and God is going to continue to bless you.
Danielle did file a complaint with the state against the nursing home for not notifying their family when their grandfather died. The facility told the Department of Health it didn't have any contact information for the family, and the state chose not to cite them.
Taking a look at our visible satellite, which is showing us where the clouds are from outer space, and you can see as the sun came up, well, we saw lots of cloud cover. We have that cloud cover that's just blocking the sun for the rest of the day today, and the visibility is reduced because we have some areas of fog that are still hanging on. So the visibility has dropped to 3 miles now in Pittsburgh. Keep that in mind if you're out traveling. Upper 30s to low 40s right now. We do go into the upper 40s this afternoon and should push just a couple of degrees above average. Here's your evening forecast. 48 at 7 o'clock, 46 at 9, and 45 at 11 p.m. Still to come, I'm going to let you know about that temperature drop, and we'll talk more about those winds that are increasing in the forecast as we head into the later part of the week.
Thanks, Danielle. Breaking right now, we now know a woman was shot in Wilkinsburg. Allegheny County police say she was found inside a house on Holmes Street. She was taken to the hospital in critical condition. As soon as we get any more information, we'll pass it along to you. A teenager charged in a disturbing case of animal cruelty is set to be in court this afternoon. The State Game Commission charged 18-year-old Alexander Smith after a video of Smith and another teen torturing a deer went viral. He faces 11 charges, including animal cruelty, and a 17-year-old is also facing charges.
Time is running out to get a real ID before the October 1st deadline. Last year, PennDOT projected 1.3 million Pennsylvanians would choose to get a real ID. But according to the Trib, only 826,000 people have signed up for one in the last year. Channel 11's Joe Arena walks us through the registration process.
I have mine and I'm ready to fly.
Yes, I have one. And that's promising news for officials here at Pittsburgh International tonight, but the numbers could be better when it comes to getting a real ID. By October 1st, if you don't have one, you'll either need a global entry pass, a passport, or a military ID to fly anywhere.
There are going to be many people in line who will get through the line, airport security, and they'll be trying to get in to get on their plane, and they will be denied because they can't get through TSA because they don't have real ID compliant identification.
AAA's big concern is for travelers who mainly fly within the U.S. and may not have a passport. And as we close in on the deadline, Jim says real ID centers are not going to be a fun place.
You can only imagine as we get closer and closer to that deadline, these lines are going to get very, very long.
A big reason why Darla Marchand made sure she got her real ID sooner than later. The process actually took less time than the DMV said it would.
The time I actually got it, it was like less than 2 weeks.
We're trying to get the word out because, again, the worst thing that could happen is that a passenger doesn't get through TSA.
And airport officials say it's the casual travelers they're concerned about the most, those of us who fly on the spur of the moment. And when it comes to knowing what you need to get a real ID, here's your checklist. Proof of identification, like a passport or your birth certificate, but it must be your original birth certificate and not a copy. You'll also need your Social Security card and 2 documents that prove your address. At Pittsburgh International Airport, Joe Arena, Channel 11 News.
And breaking news just in from the World Health Organization. The WHO just officially declared COVID-19, or the coronavirus outbreak, a pandemic. I know you've heard that word before, but this time it is officially classified as such. We're working to find out what the designation means in terms of response. But again, the World Health Organization says the coronavirus outbreak is a pandemic.
An ambulance crash caught on camera. Why the EMT driver is the one in trouble.
Plus, why plans for 3D printed guns won't be posted on the internet anytime soon, and the concern that led to the decision.
You put on Channel 11 Morning News. There is a team that has been working all night to get you the news you need.
The news doesn't stop. We don't stop. We want to make sure you know everything you need to know to get prepared for your day.
We decide what is the most important thing that you need to know when you wake up.
Once a story goes on air, that's just the beginning. It's going to change throughout the morning. It always does.
That's why Channel 11 Morning News is here to get you prepared. We have the breaking news desk. We have Scott and Tricia looking out for you as far as weather and traffic. When you walk out that door,
from where you live.
Watch Channel 11 News at 5.
An ambulance in Schuylkill County was hit after going through a red light. The medic who was driving the ambulance is the one in trouble. There is a law allowing first responders to go through red lights and drive on the opposite side of the road during emergencies, but this was not an emergency. The ambulance was returning from a call and didn't have its lights on. A spokesperson for the department told the NBC station in Wilkes-Barre that their first responders are taught to stop at red lights to make sure the intersection is clear, but they know this one's on them.
You are automatically at fault if something bad happens, emergency or not. But we're not going to be doing that stuff if there's no emergency.
Luckily, no one was hurt in that crash. The ambulance driver, though, was ticketed.
3D printed gun files will not be posted on the internet. A federal judge blocked the Trump administration from allowing their release. The files would have allowed anyone to go online and look up how to build the guns. The Justice Department did not comment on the ruling.
We've all been there. Parking in some Pittsburgh neighborhoods can be really tough.
People are just going to take your spot anyways.
How the mayor wants to improve parking by taking spots away.
And I just put together a map to show you the temperature forecast as we head through the end of the week, and I'll let you know when more showers and even a few thunderstorms are possible.
Every 10 minutes, Scott and Tricia are going to tell you how to start your day.
Every single time we go to Scott, he's bringing new information. He wants to make sure you're prepared for your day.
You ask Tricia where is the closure, she knows it, and 3 ways around it.
WPXI Now, your source for original local shows. Corruption, fraud, scandal. Veteran reporter Brian Ross shines a light on accused criminals. Brian Ross Investigates, Friday at 9 p.m. right here on WPXI Now. Watch Catherine Amenta and Gordon Lesh on Channel 11 Morning News.
Then you're screwed. People are going to take your spot instantly.
Mayor Bill Peduto wants to improve parking in the city by removing spaces. A bill would no longer require new row homes or to have garages or parking pads. Channel 11's Jillian Hartman has the latest on the debate.
The south side, it's always been kind of rough down here to park, so if you're going to live down here, it's kind of a war to find a spot.
Cosmo Liberto lives and works in Southside, one of the neighborhoods this new legislation is supposed to help.
It's kind of a tough situation. Like the parking, It hurts us, but we're looking for a solution.
Mayor Bill Peduto may have a solution to open up street parking. His office is now trying to get rid of the requirement for city homeowners to have a parking space like a garage or driveway.
There'll be more spaces because it's not going to cause curb cuts into streets that usually take away 2 spaces every time you put a garage in.
The mayor says this will make homes more affordable and areas like Lawrenceville and the Mexican War Street safer.
Right now, every time you build infill development, it forces you to do a garage, and that cuts into the sidewalk, and it makes things difficult for people with baby carriages, people in wheelchairs, things like that.
But not all neighbors are convinced it will help.
And if you work from 9 to 5 and you get off at 5, good luck. If you come home on the weekends, good luck.
Some believe it will just add to the problem with more cars parking on already congested streets.
After getting recommendations from the City Planning Commission, the bill will be sent back to City Council and to the mayor for approval.
A Westmoreland County brewery is getting a grant from the city of Greensburg to help cover its architectural and design fees. According to our partners at the Trib, Invisible Man Brewing will get $4,760. The brewery opened in October. The grant is part of a program that provides money to cover costs for new and expanding businesses. A team of students from Norwin High School is being recognized for a plan to curb littering. According to the Trib, the students proposed using an original app called PAL's Pennsylvania Litter System. The app would allow drivers to report others who are littering, and the idea made them winners of the Innovations Challenge sponsored by PennDOT's District 12 in Uniontown.
There are plans to renovate the old Best Buy store in Fraser. It includes dividing the property into 3 or 4 new businesses. According to the Trib, it could cost $1.3 million to make over the store at the Village at Pittsburgh Mills. One potential tenant is America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses. The Best Buy there closed in 2018. If you have a balance on your credit card, listen up. Consumer advisor Clark Howard says you could be spending an extra $1,000 every year on nothing.
I just saw new numbers about how much we as Americans are carrying in credit card debt, and it's almost $1 trillion for all of us added together. Now, for individuals that are carrying balances, typical person with a balance is running one around $6,000 at an average interest rate of somewhere around 17%. So do you know that means you're paying about $1,000 a year in interest every year? I mean, that $1,000 buys you nothing. So the thing is, nobody ever got rich paying Visa or MasterCard 17%. What I'd like you to do is put your credit cards away and then look at the box on your statement that shows what happens if you only pay the minimum on that. You may be in debt decades. Otherwise, look at the other box. It says what you've got to pay per month to be rid of that credit card debt in 3 years. Let me tell you, that's a great thing to do if you can make that payment and get out of debt. I'm Clark Howard.
And you can see more from Clark Howard on our streaming app. Just search for WPXI on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
Back with the check of Storm Tracker Doppler 11 radar. We do have that overcast sky across the area right now. That's where all the white shaded colors showing up. Just a little green here and there. I think that's going to be some fog, some mist potentially. We expand the view. There's really not a whole lot of moisture, so we're expecting a slight chance for a spotty shower out there today at best. You can see the bulk of the rain as well down to the south, where there could be some strong thunderstorms here today. Here's a look at our storm tracker maps for 4:30 this afternoon. Again, mainly cloudy, and mainly cloudy skies continue through the overnight period as well. This is a look at 9:30, so any of your outdoor plans, just keep your umbrella with you just in case. 6 o'clock in the morning Thursday, mostly cloudy sky. I do believe there could be some breaks in the clouds, though, throughout the day on Thursday. Another low-end chance of a passing shower for Thursday evening, but the better chance for widespread rain will be coming in during the overnight Thursday and Friday as we track a stronger low pressure system coming across the area. These showers will be building in from the south. Pockets of moderate rain to locally heavier downpours will be possible. Those are showing up in the yellow shaded color and also a few orange shaded colors as well that you're seeing. Here's 4:30 in the morning. Tries to show a shower between Washington County and Westmoreland County, also up around Indiana County. And again, there could be a rumble of thunder or two when you head out the door early Friday associated with a couple of these heavier downpours. I think the best chance for thunderstorms, the way it looks right now, will be down to the south across West Virginia and Maryland there in the mountains, where they could be picking up on some locally heavy rainfall at times. Then we have a cold front that sweeps through. It pushes the rain out. The sky will decrease in coverage, and we'll be left with some breezy conditions and some lower temperatures. Here's tonight's forecast. Upper 30s to low 40s. So when you head out the door tomorrow morning, just cold enough for a light jacket. And then tomorrow afternoon, look at this, 62 degrees. So that'll feel nice if you're out walking the dog. Maybe you want to wait until the later part of the day. Tomorrow across the rest of the area, 64 Greensburg, mid-60s down south in Waynesburg, Uniontown, 62 in Beaver. We're all enjoying above average temperatures. Average is about 47. That cold front, as I mentioned, moves through Friday morning, and it's going to be bringing the rain from west to east across the area. And then the breezy conditions will follow, where west-northwest winds will blow anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour with higher gusts. I wanted to show you that hour-by-hour temperature forecast for the end of the week. When we head out the door Friday morning, it's going to be quite mild. Temperatures are going to be in the mid-50s, but I do expect these numbers to fall gradually as that cold front passes. The winds kick up out of the west-northwest, which is a cooling wind for us, so by the afternoon we should be in the 40s. Here's the 5-day forecast and your weekend always in view. I've added in a slight chance for a rain or snow mix by Saturday evening, more so during the overnight period. That's where we have another weather system coming across. Otherwise, sun and clouds during the day Saturday and Sunday, partly sunny to mostly cloudy. High temperature in the upper 40s.
It's an American classic created here in southwestern Pennsylvania. How McDonald's is changing the Big Mac.
Hey Pittsburgh, if you haven't signed up for local steals and deals, now is the time. Just get out your phone and text the word WPXI to phone number 65,000, and I'll send you everything you need to get the most exclusive deals in town. That's WPXI to phone number 65,000, and you'll be the first to know.
Every 10 minutes, Scott and Tricia are going to tell you how to start your day.
You can get a lot of things on your phone when it comes to the weather, but you can't get Scott's expertise. He's trying to narrow in on your neighborhood to let you know what you could expect.
You're going to know what to wear. You're going to know what the kids need to wear.
We call Tricia Pittman our expert for good reason.
You ask Tricia, where is the closure? She knows it, and 3 ways around it.
She's been doing this longer than anybody else. She has a direct pipeline to PennDOT.
They're the best in the city. You're prepared every 10 minutes.
Meteorologist Stephen Cropper tracking the weather in your neighborhood.
A live look at Pittsburgh International Airport. Fast Company magazine just ranked it as one of the top 10 most innovative airports. The magazine says the airport excels at making travel easier for people with disabilities. Last year, the airport installed technology to help people with vision problems get around easier, and also recently opened a room for people with sensory processing issues such as autism. A McDonald's burger created right here in southwestern Pennsylvania is growing. McDonald's is cooking up the double Big Mac for a limited time. It has 4 beef patties instead of the usual 2. How could you even bite that thing?
I know.
If you like less meat with your Big Mac, McDonald's will sell you a Little Mac with just 1 beef patty. The Big Mac was created by McDonald's franchisee Jim Delegati in Uniontown back in 1967.
There will be at least one Pittsburgh area team in the NCAA tournament. Robert Morris led start to finish at a win over St. Francis last night. First half, Robert Morris star Savion McEwen hits the three-pointer. That put the Colonials up 7 early, and of course they went on to win, so congratulations to them.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a great day.
WPXI-TV is proud to be the TV partner of Minutes Matter, a partnership between UPMC and the City of Pittsburgh.
In an emergency, minutes matter. Knowing how you can help in a crisis situation can save someone's life. Joining me today to talk about Minutes Matter, a partnership between UPMC and the City of Pittsburgh, is Assistant Medical Director of City of Pittsburgh EMS, Dr. Leonard Weiss. Now, what is